Hello and welcome back to IMI. I'm Fletcher and this is my new segment on IMI Reviews called Crossing the Streams. Nice little Ghostbusters pun for you there, where we try to decide what is actually worth watching on the streaming services that we have. And we're a bit late to the party, but definitely I have to admit that Obi-Wan Kenobi series has to be talked about, specifically because of the rebellion that has been born from it. And I'll quickly just get through to what I thought about the actual Disney Plus series, and then I'll go further into what I was talking about. So this was filmed by Deborah Chow for all 6 episodes. It was written by several different people for particular different episodes, but that aside, I don't think it really matters. It's not essentially the worst writing, but I feel like all of the problems I have with the series isn't particularly indicative of the skills of the individuals who are on the IMDb. I think really the problem here is the producers and the people who gave the order to change what this was originally supposed to be a movie into a series, and I think that has really been the detriment to this entire endeavor, and it's really sad because it's just a waste, but there's hope. Now, what did I really like about the series? It's such a beautiful looking show. The sets look exactly like the original trilogy, but then with this extra modern sheen or polish. The costumes are immaculate. Vader looks better than he's ever looked before, on top of the fact that we actually have lightsabers that glow, which set the scene and actually make the scenes much more dynamic, especially when it's a full-on lightsaber duel. The cast, almost all of them were great. I couldn't say that there was anyone in particular that didn't bring it to the scene. I liked Reva, I liked Moses Ingram, I thought she was fantastic. I personally think that she deserved her own series as a side to what we ended up getting, which is just the B plot. An Inquisitor series I think was rumored, and I think that was a much better idea. It would have really served her arc more, and we would have seen something a bit more interesting come from it. I think it would have been quite fun to delve deep into, but then again, if you've played Jedi Fallen Order, then you've basically seen that story before. The other Inquisitors were fine, but they really didn't get time to shine. Ultimately, Hayden and Ewan are the main stars, and they both bring it. I wasn't a huge fan of Hayden as Anakin Skywalker. I thought that his acting wasn't particularly the most refined. That being said, I can't see anyone else being Anakin Skywalker. I wouldn't want anyone else to be Anakin Skywalker. I just think that as the prequels as they were, it was something that was a problem, but it doesn't really matter anymore. Those things are done. That tale is told. But I would say this is that he is such a greater, more realized version of his Anakin Vader transition here, and I thought he was fantastic, like just amazing. Same for Ewan. Ewan is stellar, and his emotional range is incredible. And seeing him as this broken version of Kenobi, I thought was great. Considering this was supposed to be a movie that was supposed to be a deep character study akin to Joker, I can see exactly the level of intensity that McGregor gave to bringing back this character. It's just a shame that it didn't get the focus it deserved. That being said, their lightsaber fights were incredible. The choreography was beautiful, but the problem with this show is it's just bloated. A bloated mess that's unnecessarily long, and we know exactly why that is. It's because they wanted more viewership on the subscription service. They just wanted the IP to keep people watching for 6 weeks. That's all it was. They didn't really care about the show or what makes a good story. And it's just been a disservice to all of the people involved. And it's sad. You can think that I'm shitting on the series or on the cast or whatever, but it didn't come out well, and it's not entirely their fault. I'm not really sure how much they could have changed based on the orders that they were given, but ultimately what's there is worth saving. I think this is incredible. What has happened is there is a rebellion stirring where people with the skills have decided that what is there is worth saving, and they've re-edited the whole series into a 2-hour movie. So that's 4 hours of content down to 2 hours, and it's so much better because it just has so much more energy to it and feel. The pacing is obviously fantastic. But then it's not just fast paced; it's intense. They rescored it with more traditional John Williams music, and then they even de-aged Hayden in his flashback scene, and it's so much better than the half-assed attempt of using makeup instead. And it's just mind-boggling that people can just do that for themselves, and big companies just won't do it. Probably because it's overpriced to get it done. But if I knew, or if I sat down with a YouTube video and I could figure it out in like a couple of days, I would. If I was the director, I would just do it myself for free. Because who cares? What matters is that the final product is worthy of what the IP should be. It's just crazy that now we live in a time where if we don't like what we're given, we can actually make it better. We can actually save it. It makes me wonder if we could actually salvage the sequel trilogy. I have thought about this, and I've thought about what could have been done to make it better, and it is salvageable. I think that there is something that could be done there, but it's just crazy. It's just crazy that we, the viewers, now we know what it would be better, and we know what we want, and we're not getting it. And these big producers, not naming any names, but they're just not in tune with what people care about. And it's sad because it's wasting a lot of people's good work, and it's possibly even kind of tarnishing their career. It's tarnishing how people view them, and wrongly so. It's not upon the actors or the directors if the final product isn't as consistent, considering the limitations they have been given. I don't really want to spoil the movie edit for anyone who's watched it, but I would say that considering the way to watch it is so difficult, or at least most of you wouldn't even bother dealing with it. I know you wouldn't, because why would you care? But I can say that the final scene, the confrontation between Vader and Obi-Wan, they cut in the flashback of both the duel when they were younger back in the prequels and the duel of them on the planet at the very end together, and it's just it just amps up the emotion even more. It just amps up the feeling and the conflict and the turmoil and why it's so important, what's happening. No longer does the Kenobi series just seem to be nothing more than that final scene, an exchange between Obi-Wan and Anakin when he loses his mask. But that was really the only thing that saved it for me. When I watched the series, I was like, oh, well, I'm just happy that moment happened. But then when I watched this movie, I'm actually happy that it all happened. And I actually would like to see more with the same level of care and consideration. That's a wise up for you, Disney. Like, honestly, you need to really think about what your decisions for a business model are making to things that we love and care about. Anyway, so if you have the time, check out the Kenobi movie. Get a mate who cares enough or gives a shit to download it for you, and then they'll give it to you. If not, do it yourself, you lazy bastard. I've been Fletcher. I really hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys to the next one. Thanks for the likes. Love to the subs. Toodles.